Hey Bodgies and Widgies, and welcome back to the channel. I am super happy, man, I say this in every video, but I am really happy today because we are beginning the official series of my 5-foot display aquarium. Now, this isn't going to be just a series of me building my aquarium. I specifically wanted to make this series because, well, when you see online or on YouTube, there are hundreds, if not thousands of guides on how to set up a beginner tank. And there are so many amazing ones that go through the nitrogen cycle, I guess like how to get your water perfect for fish and things like that. But once we kind of get past that stage where we can kind of keep fish healthy for extended periods of time, and you know, we may have one tank that's thriving and we're slowly expanding, we kind of branch off into two different ways in the aquarium hobby. The first way is the breeding way, and that's where efficiency comes in. We want to have as many tanks as possible with as many fish as possible to try and get them breeding, and we kind of get into that like breed for profit and experience and behavior and stuff like that of fish. The other aspect is the one where I kind of fall under, which is the display aquariums. And for me, though I do like breeding fish, for me, I just want to kind of enjoy them, relax, keep a thriving community aquarium and provide them with an amazing habitat which they can thrive and live in long term. And I really do like that aspect. And kind of narrowing that down even further, we kind of come down to nano tank displays or big tank displays. I've done the whole nano tank thing, and I found that it really isn't for me. I just enjoy big tanks, big, I guess, like, environments where I could put in a lot of fish and enjoy them. But maybe sometime down the future we might end up getting like a rack of, I guess, like, nano display tanks. But as we speak, I am shutting my nano aquarium down. But I think it's going to really allow us to put all of this effort into our 5-foot aquarium behind us. But that's where I'm kind of trying to get at with this video, where I want to make this a series where we go really in depth on how to set up your first big, high-tech, proper display aquarium, really looking at the tank, kind of details about that, then selecting plants, the hardscape, the process, and by the end of this, we should have two things. One is going to be a beautiful display aquarium, and the second one is an absolutely detailed log of super educational and also fun information that you can always come back to and watch if you need help with things and stuff like that. So I'm super proud to be able to make this, and it is a series that I've been planning for quite a while. And today we're officially setting things off in motion. So I guess this is episode 1 of the series, which is really cool because it kind of feels like I'm making a TV program, which is maybe what YouTube is. But anyways, my crazy thoughts aside, we are starting episode 1. And today we're going to look at the aquarium. What kind of aquarium you should choose, why you should choose it, where you should position it, and really look into all of these fine details which will really make sure that you have the long-term success for your new plant to display tank. So yeah, let's get right into the video. We'll look at the details of my 5-foot aquarium, why it's positioned the way it is, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the aquarium that we see behind me is 5 feet long, 2 feet wide from the front to the back, and 2 feet tall. I specifically went for this aquarium because I think it's really great dimensions. Generally with aquascape tanks, the I guess most commonly used size for big aquascapes is the 4x2x2, so 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 2 feet tall. Me personally, I really like the 5 feet long just because it kind of gives you this really good sense of length but also depth at the same time, and I guess it's just bigger, so that's always good. Now, this aquarium isn't just your like generic glass box. There are a few, I guess, little additions that I went specifically to add to this aquarium. The first of which, and the most noticeable one, is, let me get out of the way, this here. So that is an inbuilt sump. I went for the inbuilt sump because it kind of allows me to hide all of my filtration, heaters, CO2 diffusers, all of these electrical equipment in this specific area. And once I cover this with a little bit of black background, you basically won't be able to see it. But it allows me to have all of these like ugly wires and stuff that we wouldn't want to see hanging from the back of our display, or heaters that are visible in our display, to be super hidden away here. And with the little, I guess, compartments, it allows me to section things off. So it's basically like having a canister filter / a sump, but in your main display. So it's an all-in-one unit. The other thing that I went for is starfire glass on the front panel. Now, that really allows me to have this super clear viewing of my fish, and once this tank is filled up, it will basically look like the glass isn't there. And these are just like really small additions that you can add for a pretty low price depending on the aquarium store that you go to. Now, if you're looking to get big display tanks or even small display tanks, I would 110% recommend Aquatico Aquarium. They were the people that built this tank for me, and I am super happy with it. But they have an extremely amazing range now with their new Bio Eco tanks, which is their own line of aquariums, which can be custom built to your specific needs, whatever you want, and they are able to put together a whole package of the tank, the equipment, and things like that. But I will get onto that a little bit later in this video. If you also need your tank delivered to you, I would also 100% recommend Zoop Zoop Aquarium Transportation. Now, they are basically the first aquarium transport business in Australia that has insurance for moving aquariums. They also do help with moving fish and things like that, and I've got a full extensive review and breakdown of their company, which will appear in a card somewhere up here, so highly recommend that you watch that after this. But yeah, so we've covered the starfire glass, the sump, and yeah, that's basically it. So it's kind of simple, but also like a super elegant tank when we think about it. Really great size, everything is hidden, and now let's look at why I positioned the tank here in this location. So that I need to get behind the camera and vlog, which is not something I do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the positioning of the tank. My tank is in my room, and yes, that is the nano tank being taken down, and yeah, a quick span around of my room. But I wanted to position this 5-foot tank from the furthest area from the window, if that makes sense. So the window is on one side of the room, and the tank is placed on the other side of the room. And what happens is, from the window, you get all of this natural sunlight that comes in, and natural sunlight promotes algae growth, and algae growth in a high-tech planted tank isn't something that you really want. So having the tank away from the sunlight is really going to help you out long-term with algae growth, and yeah, just really help with maintenance and stuff like that. The second thing I wanted to cover is make sure that the tank is an area that is easily accessible to, oh, that's really dark, easily accessible to water changes. So my tank is, oh, and a quick update on the bathtub, fish, pond, tank thing. I'll have an update video coming on those guys soon. But have your tank in a place that is easy for water changes. What I can do here is throw a pump into the tank and drain it out into the bathtub, or drain it out of the window into the backyard, and that just makes my life doing water changes so much easier. In order to fill the tank back up, all I have to do is put the pump into the bucket, put the bucket under the tap, and I get temperature controllable water going straight into the tank. Super easy and always good long run. Okay, costume change. The hardscape is already in the tank, but I'm going to try and block it off as much as possible. What happened was I recorded yesterday, but the microphone was unplugged, so I had the footage but no audio. But it doesn't matter, we can still cover all the details that I wanted to talk about in today's episode perfectly fine. So now that you've purchased your aquarium and it's in place, what should you do next? Well, the first thing I'd always recommend doing is just give your aquarium a quick wipe down on the inside and the outside with a wet rag, vacuum out any dust and stuff like that, and that way when you fill the aquarium up, it's just going to be a lot less cloudier, and you're going to have a lot less issues with the water quality and things like that. So just give it a good clean down, and also before the aquarium actually gets in place, I'd recommend getting some yoga mats, which come with Aquatico Aquarium's tanks when they are delivered. They come with a self-leveling mat that is placed under the tank, and above the stand, so that way when the tank gets on the stand, it is nice and flush and there aren't any like uneven areas. You really want to be giving your tank and your stand the best and finest quality possible. So yeah, just having those is going to ensure a little bit of safety and peace of mind in the long term, just to make sure that the tank and stand are level and secured in place. Having that yoga mat also allows you to shift the tank out really easily if you need to add a black background like I did to mine, and things like that if you want to access the tank in the back when it's empty. Obviously when it's full it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but yeah, just those little additions are going to ensure you in the long run. But yeah, the hardscape is in, and that is what we're going to talk about in the second episode, meaning that this episode has come to an end. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos on this series, please do consider subscribing to the channel, give a big thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts were on this video, if you got any useful information from it, because I really do want to see what you guys take from my videos as well. So yeah, really want to thank you guys for watching and being a part of this series, because without you, I wouldn't be able to share my passion with other people, and if I was to go and talk to some random stranger about my fish tanks, they'd probably get annoyed. So we want to give you guys a massive thank you for that. But yeah, as always, stay happy, stay safe, stay Aussie Australian. Bodgie out.